Good evening. My name is Dilip Sadh. I wanted to provide you an overview of SAP MM and WM module. Let me start with my background. I've been doing SAP past 15 years now. So I've been SAP consultant for past 15 years. In past 15 years, I worked with various companies. I worked with Capgemini. I was a director with them. I was worked with Accenture. I was a senior director with them. Then in the last, I was associate partner with IBM. In past 15 years of my SAP implementation experience, I have worked on various companies, and some of the companies I worked where I implemented SAP are here: Reebok, Bose, Carlyle, Lucent, Colgate-Palmolive, etc. I'm a president of Kabir Consulting, Think Tree Technologies, and Kabir Infotech. I have a deep academic interest. In that, I have worked on various universities. I'm a visiting professor with Indiana University of Pennsylvania, where I teach MBA course. I've been visiting faculty for many universities across the globe: MIT in Boston, IIT Delhi, Northeastern, and various other universities where I have delivered the lecture. They are not all of them. In SAP, SD and CRM and MM WM module, I have taught over 3,000 students in past 15 years. I've written extensively in supply chain. I hold degree in mechanical engineering. These are some of the functional areas which I focus on. This is some of the industries I worked. I implemented SAP, and these are some of the companies I was associated with them when I was in India for SAP implementation perspective. The purpose of class today, or this video, is to provide you a quick but a detailed overview of SAP MM WM module. Also talk about integration of procurement of financial and other modules. Talk briefly about reporting analytics. Talk about the procurement processes. This is SAP ECC Diamond. There are certain colors here, and then these colors have certain meanings to it. In the green color, we have a logistic modules. In the red color, we have various financial modules. Yellow color, we have HR and workflow, industry solutions. SAP ERP now is also called SAP ECC, which basically means Enterprise Central Component. It is based on client server technology. Almost entire SAP is written in a programming language that is called ABAP. ABAP is Advanced Business Application Programming. Is a fourth generation programming language. Almost entire SAP, some exceptions, are written in this programming language called ABAP. MM module, which is part of our discussion today. MM is a component of logistics in SAP that focuses on inventory management, warehouse management, and vendors and purchasing. That is what SAP MM, or materials management as it is called, focuses on. This picture, which is there in the slide, gives you an overall flow of SAP MM module. On the top, we have something called SAP material planning. MM module starts when there is a need for a material. And the need for a material, if I need in my company, if we need a material, that need can only be sufficed with the two possibilities. For sufficing that need, which is coming from the material planning, either you make it or you buy it. If you make, it is going to production planning module, which is not our agenda for today. If you end up procuring, that is what we want to discuss. Here we have SAP purchasing. After purchasing, the next element is inventory management, invoice verification. MM module is divided into three sub-modules: purchasing, inventory, invoice verification. Invoice verification obviously integrate with financial controlling. Good issue and all is also controlled with integrate with sales and distribution. And in order for the MM module to happen, these are master data which are needed to be there in SAP system. But in overall, if we talk about SAP MM module, we have a purchasing, inventory, invoice verification. I need a material, I create a purchase order, I give it to the vendor, vendor supply, I do good receipt. After I've done the good receipt, vendor submit the invoice and I do invoice posting. In SAP module or any other functional module in SAP, we have these four elements: org data, master data, business processes, reporting and analytics. In any of functional module, we have these four functions: org data, master data, business processes, reporting and analytics. In organization data, these are some of the points which are there in organization data. Organization data represent organization, in which I have a company code, plant, storage location, purchase organization, purchasing group. These are the 5 minimum organization elements from the purchasing perspective. Company code represents legal entity. Plant represent normally a manufacturing or production facility. Store location is a further subdivision of the plant where the material are being stored physically. Purchase organization represents purchasing entity which gets into legal agreement, handles with the vendors all terms and conditions. It is roughly equivalent to purchasing department. Purchasing group represents buyer, the people working in purchasing department, Michael, Thomas. We have these 5 organization data: company code, plant, store location, purchase organization, purchasing group. In SAP, there are many master data, but these are the 2 which are very important master data in SAP purchasing. The first is material master, and the second is vendor master. These are the 2 very important master data: material master and the vendor master. Material master is a central record in SAP for all products or different type of products, items, materials we are buying. It could be a finished good, raw materials, semi-finished good, assemblies, packaging item, services. All those different kind of materials are stored in SAP in the form of a material master record. This material master record serves as a proof for the source of the data for purchasing. That's important. When you enter material master, you keep using this material master again and again and again. And all the information which you maintain in material master we keep using it over the period of time. SAP Material Master is divided into different views. Views represent a business function, represent a department. These are some of the modules, views which are there in SAP Material Master. We have engineering and design, MRP, store location, stock location, accounting, storage, purchasing, sales, work scheduling, quality, etc., etc. There are many more views, and therefore this brings the centralization of the master data. You maintain Material Master once, can be extended to different views, hence it can be used by all those different views. Material Master can also be structured by a various organization units. Material Master can be structured by client. Client is the data which is a specific, which is global, which is not specific to any organization. Plant data is the data which is specific to the plant, for example, who is the buyer. Store location data, the data which is maintained from the storage location perspective. So that basically means SAP Material Master can also be maintained by an organization unit. That gives a flexibility that a Material Master can be used by more than one or so many plants and store locations across the global earth. If technically a single Material Master can be used in hundreds and hundreds of your plants and all the business functions, that degree of integration can be purchased, can be bought by SAP. Vendor Master represents supplier. You're buying item, you buy from whom? We buy from suppliers. And those suppliers or service providers in SAP are called Vendor Master. In the Vendor Master, data is divided into three groups, in three buckets. It is general data, accounting data, purchasing data. Let's briefly recap. So far, we have talked about organization data, in which we talked about 5 elements. We talked about company code, plant, store location, purchase organization, purchasing group. In master data, we talked about 2 elements, which is Material Master and the Vendor Master. Now, you're going to talk about business processes for the procurement. Entire SAP MM module is divided into these 8 steps. If somebody look at a very high level, what does MM module consist of? Although high level, but these are the 8 steps. Step number 1, requirement determination. I mentioned SAP MM module, it starts within a single event. And that event is somewhere there is a need for a material. That for need for a material is captured in the form of a requirement. Step number 2 is source determination. So I have a requirement, it comes to me, I'm a buyer, I need to find out who is the source. Once I found the source, I select the right source. And then I do the source selection, then I do the order processing. That basically means I create a purchase order, give it to the vendor. As needed, I do a follow-up, making sure material arrive as expected on the time. Once the material arrive at my door, I do inventory management. I do a good receipt. I receive that material in my warehouse. Next step, I do invoice verification, means I verify the invoice. In the next step, I do the payment. Vendor get to see some Benjamin Franklins. In the entire SAP MM module, at a high level, these are the 8 steps. Requirement, determining source, selecting right vendor, creating purchase order, doing a follow-up, receiving the goods, doing verifying invoice, and paying to the vendor. In order for us to follow those 8-step process, we have these 4 major documents: purchase requisition, purchase order, good receipt, invoice verification. These are the 4 main documents in SAP purchasing. Along with these 4 documents goes planning, reporting, analysis. The first and foremost, the first document is called purchase requisition. Purchase requisition is an instruction to buy something. Purchase requisition is the instruction to buy something. If somebody needs a material, they create a purchase requisition. Purchase requisition in SAP can be created automatically in MRP, or somebody can create manually. It's an internal document. It is not used outside. Means it is one department creating for another department. This is another view of purchase requisition processing. Purchase requisition can come either direct entry, means it can become manually, somebody can go in the system and manually create it. Or using MRP program, MRP means a material requirement planning program, a lot of purchase requisitions can be created automatically. Once we create a purchase requisition, we determine who is the right source, and then we create a release strategy, approval strategy, and we approve and we create a purchase order. This is how a purchase requisition processing happens. Next step is a purchase order. Purchase order is a formal document. It is a legal document. In this document, we can have various items. We can have vendor, material, quantity, what price, what terms, conditions, what date I need this material, what location I need this material to be delivered by the vendor. All that information is in purchase order. And purchase order is a legal document between buyer and the seller. Purchase order in SAP can be created for various type of item. The buying in SAP can be divided into 3 buckets. Buying a stock item means item which you buy and keep in a stock is called a stock item. Consumable items means item you buy and directly consume. A stock item example could be like you're buying your production item like maintenance and repair items. Consumable item means office stationery or some marketing literature. Somebody asks for a specific HR department need a laptop and a desktop for a new employee. That's a consumable item. Buy and you give it immediately to the employee. Service, we also buy service. And then we say account assignment. Whatever you buy, at some point of time, somebody consumes that. Therefore, account assignment. Account assignment is means ultimately who receive the cost. Account assignment. In SAP, purchase order processing can be done with reference to purchase requisition. In SAP, there is also an extensive functionality of contract management. In SAP, you can also have a pretty extensive functionality of quotation and request for quotation, RFQ. You can have a vendor, maintenance. In SAP, you also have something called one-time vendor, basically means miscellaneous vendor functionality. After we have created a purchase order and give it to the vendor, what happens next? We do a good receipt. We create good receipt. Good receipt is the third step or third major document in purchasing cycle. Good receipt is taking material in. Good receipt is the process of receiving the material against a purchase order. It also involves valuation of the material. At the time of good receipt, system create a material doc, system create accounting document. These are the two important documents that happens to record the event, to make sure that if somebody wants to go refer and say whether this good movement happened or not, you can go to material document and accounting document and look as a proof that yes, this event happened. It updates purchase order history. It becomes the basis for invoice verification. Second part of three-way match. Second part of three-way match. Good receipt for the stock items. In the good receipt for the stock item, when you receive the material, we enter the good receipt, increases the inventory, and increase of the inventory update the stock in the warehouse. Obviously, if I have 100 pieces, I got 10 more, I become 110. I have 100 pieces, I got 200 more, my total stock become 300. So good receipt is a very important step. The result of good receipt posting. What happens when we do good receipt posting? With the good receipt posting, it creates various events. It is create a material document which serves as a proof of quantity update. There is accounting document which serves as a proof of material valuation. This is an example of a real-time valuation of inventory. Real-time valuation of inventory. System in accounting document, system update various general ledger. When you're receiving material, it will debit your inventory, credit your consumption, or good receipt GIR clearing account. So automatically account entry happens. That is a real-time integration of MM with FI. It updates history, consumption, you can print a receipt, etc. There is a WM. In SAP, IM and WM are two separate functions. They're two separate modules. They should not be intermixed. Inventory management or WM are two elements. WM or warehouse management is an extension of inventory management. Warehouse management allows us to perform various functions. It allows you to manage your inventory physically in a warehouse. It allows you to manage your material in inventories, in bins. That is the functionality of the warehouse management. That is what the warehouse management does. The last step in the process is invoice verification. This is the whole process. Purchase requisition, after the purchase order, then we get good receipt. After good receipt, we do invoice processing. And in invoice verification, it is a verified invoice of the vendor against my PO, against my good receipt. That's why it's called three-way match. It's a vendor's invoice against my purchase order and good receipt. You match your price from PO, match your quantity from the good receipt. Invoice in verification process, also update your purchase order and its history. And it updates your accounting information system. Again, update account. This is again another example of real-time integration between SAP, MM, and finance. So we got a purchase order. After purchase order, we create a good receipt. After good receipt, vendor sends his invoice. We verify the invoice. and then it updates various general accounts and also various cost recipients. Integration of MM with FI. After verifying the invoice of the vendor, we become liable to pay. Henceforth, we have to make invoice payment. And as per the payment term, every vendor can have one or different payment term, and those payment terms can be maintained in the vendor master, and then we can pay to the vendors as per the payment term. Generate program for releasing invoice. System can automatically post outgoing payments, update accounting document. Again, update accounting document. You can run the payment program. There is a automatic payment program in SAP. It will debit your vendor and then credit your bank, and you can also print your check, pay to the vendor, running the payment program. These are some of the integration points between SAP MM and WM. At the time of purchase requisition, there is integration with the production planning, because a lot of purchase requisition might be coming from production planning function. At the time of good receipt, there is integration with the finance, because when we receive the inventory, system automatically update and perform the material valuation. And then there is the invoice verification. That is another integration of SAP MM with the finance. Purchasing with the production planning, and then integration with the finance and finance. Let's briefly recap. I talked about that in SAP MM module, or any functional module for that matter, is divided into 4 buckets: organization data, master data, business processes, reporting and analytics. Organization data, I talked about 5, which is company code, plant, store location, purchase organization, purchasing code. In the master data, I talked about 2, material master, vendor master. Purchase process, we talk about 8-step process. And then we talk about 4 main process flows, in which we talk about purchase requisition, purchase order, good receipt, and invoice verification. And the next element is reporting and analytics. In extended SAP, within ECC itself, within ERP itself, there's a lot of reporting available. It is, I'm not talking about BIBW. Within SAP ERP, there's a lot of reporting availability. Report for vendors, material, general analysis, order value analysis, inventory transaction analysis, all those different reports are available in the standard SAP. In SAP, we have something called Logistic Information System, or LIS. LIS is SAP ECC ERP's own reporting tool. In LIS, we have a sales information system which provides sales reporting. We have purchasing information system which provides the reporting for the purchasing. We have inventory controlling, which provides the information or reporting for inventory. And we have shop floor information system, which provides the reporting for the shop floor and production planning. Sales information system take the data from SD. Purchase information system take the data from MM. Inventory controlling also take from MM. And shop floor control, software information system, take the data from production planning. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your kind attention, and I hope you like it. Thank you so much.